Hey everyone, this is Chris. Yes, I am wearing my hoodie inside, or my jumper, as my UK brethren would say. Um, and the hood is up because it is more comfortable. And this is the second bonus content episode this week. Because most of the time I try to keep it at one podcast episode proper, and then either a video, a blog post, or a bonus episode. But after watching this last night and then watching it a second time, and still being amped up, I'm like, you know what? I got to talk about it. So today we are going to share my quick thoughts on the fantastic episode of Clone Wars Season 7, Episode 10, The Phantom Apprentice. So I'm going to try to do one section where it's just quick thoughts, no spoilers, and then the second section is quick thoughts with spoilers. And I'll let y'all know when that period is coming. Just because I can't talk about this without talking the spoilers. So the spoiler-free portion is I've enjoyed Clone Wars Season 7 immensely. The Bad Batch arc was really good. The Ahsoka arc, it was different, but I still dug it because Ahsoka has become like such a cool and good character that you really want to know where she is after Clone Wars season 5, and before she gets to where she is in Rebels. And I thought her arc did a really good job of that. Just showing that even though she is, spoilers if you haven't watched Clone Wars at all, but you know what? The show's been out for ages. Season 5 happened, I don't know how long ago, but years, so I'm fine spoiling this part. After she was framed and then left the Jedi, picking up with her in this, seeing her in the immediate aftermath, or not the immediate aftermath, but relatively, seeing where she's at, where she's been burned, but not walking away from her morals and her stances. You're seeing that she's not gonna go the way that a number of other Jedi have when they've left the Order. Even to the extent where some leave, they turn, and then they turn back. With her, she never changes. She never. She leaves because she's lost faith in the Order, and that the Order isn't doing what it should do, what it's supposed to do, which is one of the many things that I love about the Clone Wars series. And what I appreciate about those episodes is, even though I've said to some friends, because I'm like, look, you gotta watch episode 9 and 10. Like they are honestly, 9 is outstanding. Like, don't get me wrong, it is a fantastic episode. But 10 in particular, I even said to my wife, my amazing wife Jill, last night, like, this is one of the best episodes of television I've seen in ages. But it's also honestly the best Star Wars content I've seen in I don't know how long, especially in the visual media realm, because the Darth Vader solo series out of the Marvel comics have been outstanding. But they're different. This as a whole is the best thing out of Star Wars I've seen in I don't know how long. So it builds up to episode 9 and then 10 in particular. So I really would recommend watching the other two, or watching the preceding 8, even though I do think you can watch 9 and 10 in somewhat isolation. It won't have the same impact. Yeah, okay, what can I say where I'm not spoiling stuff, because I don't want to jump right into the spoilers. The acting in the episodes, especially in 10, is great. The music, the mood, the atmosphere, just everything, every single thing that can fire on all cylinders fires on all cylinders, and then like 12 additional ones. It's outstanding what it does to tie everything together with where things are and then add fuel to the fire. Like legit, it does. I think it does. It's going to impact how you watch Revenge of the Sith. And I have no doubt that the next 2 episodes, because we're getting to the series finale, is going to impact how you watch that movie. And that's something that you could always praise the Clone Wars show with. It flushed out things from the prequel era in ways that the movies never even tried to. Maybe couldn't because of the length needed, but the prequels could have done it in a much better way. But this is doing that. It's just adding so many layers to so many things that's going to. It does impact how characters behave in Revenge of the Sith much more. And I really, really appreciate that. Yeah, okay, that's it for the spoiler-free section, because there's some specific stuff that is spoilery that I can't not address. So here's a quick break. 5, 4, if you don't want spoilers, jump off. 3, 2, please jump off if you don't want spoilers. 1. All right, so this section is rated S for spoilers. Holy crap. Darth Maul in this is amazing. Just amazing. It's a career performance from Sam Witwer, who's been voicing the character since season 4. And then who he did do the voice in Solo, and then also voiced Maul in friggin' Rebels. But his whole character, like, as much as I love Maul in episode 1, the silent assassin who says a maximum of like 21 friggin' words, like, what they've done with the Maul character in this show is outstanding. And this, I think, is the apex of it, because he is so aware of everything that's about to happen. So this episode, these past 2 episodes in particular, we are now at the starting point of Revenge of the Sith. So they're going back to Mandalore because Maul is there. He's trying to start a war. So Satine's sister looks for Ahsoka to get her to come help, and then Ahsoka's like, "Look, we need the help of the Jedi." So she reaches out to Anakin and Obi-Wan, and then you get that reunion moment in episode 9, which at first you're like, I don't know if this is what I want, but it works so well, because then as you're getting that moment, suddenly they're like, we gotta go, we have to go. The Chancellor's been abducted, so now we're at the start of Revenge of the Sith. So then Ahsoka leaves. She takes Rex and a battalion of clones with her. And then as we're getting to Mandalore, we're setting the stage for the next episode. And oh my gosh, guys, like, the Phantom Apprentice is amazing. So Darth Maul, he laid a trap, because he's had a vision of what's going to happen. Now, as you find out from this, he is been aware or peripherally aware of the clone's purpose. Maybe not to the extent of Order 66, but he's aware, like, the clones are going to be used in some way, shape, or form. And then later he gets a clone, Jesse, and he force reads his mind. And I liked it because they did it in a way from The Force Awakens, where Kylo, like, puts his hand over Poe's face, and then later he tries it with Rey to, like, read her mind. He does it with him, and then when we cut back to Maul, we cut to Maul being like, to the Shadow Syndicate, and they include I can't remember his name, but I think it's Voss, the guy who I can't remember the actor's name, but friggin' Vision, Paul Bentley, who Paul Bentley played in Solo. Like, you get him briefly, and he's like, everything's done. Like, the galaxy is the galaxy is done. Like, he's been sensing a moment, and the other characters, when they refer to Maul, it's like he's been walking around almost with a sense of dread. And Maul knows what's about to happen, and he's like, the moment's coming, it's upon us. And there's so many nice little touches in this episode where Ahsoka contacts Obi-Wan just to update him on the situation. And then Obi-Wan's, because Maul name drops Sidious, and the performance there was great because there was a sense of fear as he said it, which ties into the last time we saw him in the Clone Wars show, because there was the tie-in comic that explained how he got away from Sidious, and started up kind of the Shadow Collective. But in the show, the last time we saw him, Sidious attacked Maul and Savage Opress on Mandalore. And he killed Opress, and he was taking Maul as his captive, and Maul was begging for his life. So Maul's just like terrified of Sidious. So Obi-Wan shares the information they have about Sidious, the limited information, and then Ahsoka suggests they talk to Dooku, and then Dooku's like, we can't. Obi-Wan's like, any information we could get from him, we can't. Anakin killed him when we rescued the Chancellor. I'm now on my way to Utapau to look for Grievous. And that, just these moments from the movie, they have so much more significance in the show. You're just kind of like, oh no. Because we're there. We're building up to Order 66. We're going to get it in the show. And I was saying to Jill last night, I'm like, even though you always knew that's how the Clone Wars ended, given how the show was canceled, and then you got the remaining episodes, or most of the remaining episodes in season 6, but now we're here, you're like, oh my gosh, all this emotional attachment you have. Like, even though that already existed and Clone Wars did affect how you watched Revenge of the Sith before, I think it's going to do it tenfold. So now as we're catching up, there's an amazing lightsaber fight with Maul and Ahsoka at the end of this episode. And Maul's trying to get Ahsoka to join him so they can eventually take down Sidious. Maul reveals his plan. He was like, I wasn't looking for you. I was expecting Kenobi and Skywalker. And he always wants Kenobi because that's Maul. He hates Obi-Wan Kenobi. He pins all his misfortunes on Kenobi killing him and leaving him for dead. Like, as much as he hates Sidious, he's like, if Kenobi didn't do this, then I would not have been left in the dust. I would have not been discarded. And Maul's got some really good motivations, and as he's trying to talk to Ahsoka, it's not so much like turn to the dark side kind of stuff. It's, we need to do this because this is done. And she's like, well, come with me to the council. He's like, you don't get it. The Jedi, the Republic, they're over. Their time is done. And he's not going over dramatic, just the right amount of I don't want to say gravitas, but heaviness in his tone and aggression, but not like out and out aggression. And then when he says, like, I wanted Skywalker, and she's like, why? And then he says, like, because he is the key. He is the next apprentice. Like, he's been groomed for this position. Ahsoka, being Anakin's former pupil, she loves him. And then that ties even further to stuff in Rebels, where in Rebels there's the scene in season 2, which I was talking with Hector Mirai last night, and he's like, dude, you got to give Rebels a shot. And I've never given it its just due outside of a couple episodes, so I am going to give it a shot. So there's scenes in there where she suspects, but she doesn't want to believe. And then even then, when it's revealed, she's like, she doesn't want to fight him. She's like, I'm not going to leave you again. So she is devoted to Anakin. She loves Anakin. Not in that romantic way or anything, but oh man, it's just so good. Like, she just doesn't believe Maul when he says this. And it's moments like that where you're just like, oh my gosh. There's so many last minute things where you're like, if she tried to reach out, because Obi-Wan asked her to talk to Anakin earlier, she didn't get the chance. but it's just those little tantalizing moments because he shares with Ahsoka, like, Anakin's on the mission he's on in Revenge of the Sith to report on Palpatine. She's like, he's not gonna like that. He's been a father figure to him. Like, Anakin's gonna hate that. And Obi-Wan knows. And she's like, why do you want me to talk to him? Just, I can't defend the Jedi on this. And he's like, the council is wrong about things. He just wants her to talk to him, to calm him down. And she doesn't get that chance. It's things like that in the moment when Anakin got to talk to Ahsoka in episode 9, in the 9th episode, they didn't get that huge emotional catharsis. So here's Anakin in this now. Like, he's got one of his best friends back, and he's not getting that relationship. So that's throwing him for a curveball. There's the fears of his wife. There's the Jedi forcing this on him. And now it's just adding so much emotional layers to what he was going through in Revenge of the Sith that you're like, man, this should have just been here from the get-go. Because in Revenge of the Sith, it's like, well, I'm worried my wife's going to die, so now I'm going to kill people and kill a bunch of kids to show I'm dedicated. Whereas this, the show's added so many things of the distrust, the frustration with the council, but then especially with the Ahsoka stuff earlier in season 5, but then now here, it's just, they're adding so many layers to it. It's so good. And then those little moments where it's like, this was still before Order 66 was done. If she reached out to him to give him that perspective, maybe that could have changed things. If she had just believed Maul, because Maul's laying it all out there. And if she had just believed Maul and been like, yo, I'll join you, just give me 1 sec, maybe it could have been prevented. And that's the thing I love about it. It's added so much stuff. So this episode was, to me, perfection. Like I said before, the acting, outstanding. The music, outstanding. The lightsaber fight, incredible. And what made that lightsaber fight even better was it was mocapped. I can't remember the name of the actress, but she was the stunt coordinator and played the armory person in The Mandalorian. And then Maul was mocapped by Ray Park, who was Darth Maul in The Phantom Menace, and it added so much to that fight. And then the climax of the episode, I don't want to say Ahsoka beat Maul, although the fight was great. She outsmarted him. It wasn't like she disarmed him. He had disarmed her, and then she just took a brief advantage. And then as he was falling, she force catches him because she's not trying to kill him. She's trying to capture him. And then he's like, let me go, let me die. And then as the clones are showing up, he's like, just like, we're all going to burn. You don't get it. We're going to die. All of this is done. Just let, like, the panic, the paranoia, and Ahsoka is just getting this increasing sense of dread. And that's where the episode ends. Oh my gosh. Like, all right, so those are my thoughts. I cannot rave about this enough. It was one of the best episodes of television I've seen in a long time. But the best thing of Star Wars I've seen in I don't know how long. I'm not expecting episodes 11 and 12 to hold this level. I don't know if they can, to be honest. That's not a knock against them. Season 7 has been outstanding. But episode 9 and 10 are a whole other level. So if the next 2 episodes are as good as even the preceding 8, then that is fantastic. The reason I'm trying to dampen my expectations is now that we've hit this level, if they don't, then I'm only, in some way you might be let down, and I don't want to be let down. My hope, of course, is that they continue this level of production. My final thought is this. Just give Dave Filoni the keys to Lucasfilm. Just do it. No offense to Kathleen Kennedy and the good and the bad that she's brought out of it. As much as I'm interested in a Feige Star Wars movie, give Filoni the keys. Just do it. He's the guy. Okay, so those are my quick thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. What did you think of today's episode? Or not today's episode. What did you think of Clone Wars Season 7, Episode 10, The Phantom Apprentice? Let me know what you think. This was much longer, quicker thoughts than I normally try to do. So, yeah, hope you enjoyed this episode. Hope you enjoy that episode, and let me know what you think. All that being said, have a wonderful day, and God bless, my friends. Peace.